Hello everyone, today we will discuss concepts of an ecosystem. Earth or say biosphere can for convenience be divided up into major regions. On land, these regions are characterized by a similarity of geography, landform and major floral and faunal groupings. So, regions with similar characteristics are called biomes. For an example, if talk about the tundra, so high latitude, cold, usually flat or rolling relief and with low growing shrubs like willows and mat forming herbs make this region distinctive from others. Tropical lowland forest is very different. Moist, warm regions near the equator dominated by dense forest. They are divided further into units of greater similarity called ecosystem based on environment and groupings of plant and animals. Ecosystem. It is a geographic area where plants, animals and other organisms as well as weather and landscape work together to form a bubble of life. This term was first coined in 1935 by the Oxford ecologist Arthur Tansley. Ecosystems are the main functional units of the biosphere, largely self-contained apart from inputs of energy and nutrients from outside. Some organisms such as migrants and dispersers can move between ecosystems. They vary in size from parts of oceans to small watersheds on land, and the function of ecosystem is energy flow and material cycles within and outside the system. Technically, ecosystem pertains to a set of components in a given environment working independently to achieve a common goal, or it can be defined as the interactions among biotic and abiotic components of the environment. The biotic components are living parts and abiotic components are non-living parts. So in living parts we have producers, consumers and decomposers, and in non-living parts we have climatic factors and edaphic factors. If talk about abiotic factors, so non-living part, under climatic factors we have water, temperature, light and wind, and under edaphic factors we have soil and pH of soil and minerals in the soil. So water, it is one of the prime elements responsible for life on earth. Rain is the means by which fresh water is created. Water circulates through the land, transporting, dissolving, replenishing nutrients and organic matter while carrying away waste material. In the body, it regulates the activities of fluids, tissues, cells, lymph, blood and glandular secretion. In case of light, the primary and largest source of energy for an ecosystem is the only sun. Factors such as quality of light, its intensity and length and the period all play an important part in an ecosystem during certain processes like photosynthesis and respiration. Temperature. The distribution of plants and animals is greatly influenced by this temperature, like the plants normally germinate in the spring or summer. Flowering and fruiting etc. depends on temperature. It's triggered by the temperature. Many species have developed adaptations such as migration, hibernation etc. to deal with the temperature fluctuations in the environment. Wind or air currents arise on a worldwide scale as a result of a complex interaction between hot air expanding and rising in the mid-latitude. Winds carry water vapor which may condense and fall in the form of rain, snow or hail. Wind plays a role in pollination and seed dispersal of some plants as well as the dispersal of some insects. If talk about soil under edaphic factors, it performs four important functions It is a medium for plants growth. It is a means of water storage, supply and purification. It is a modifier of Earth's atmosphere. It is a habitat for organisms, all of which in turn modify the soil. So soil can differ in one or more properties such as in their texture, structure, density, porosity and consistency. Soil pH is important because it influences several soil factors which affect plant growth like soil bacteria, nutrient leaching, nutrient availability, toxic elements and soil structure. So most microorganisms have an optimum pH range for survival and function. For bacteria it's like 7, whereas for fungi it is 5. So nutrient leaching leads to soil acidification. Nutrients availability directly affects the absorption and reactivity of soil substrates. Under biotic factors, we have three levels: producers, consumers and decomposers. So producers are also known as autotrophs, and we have two types of autotrophs: photosynthetic form of autotrophs and chemosynthetic form. So photosynthetic forms are green plants, and photosynthetic bacteria like microorganisms that use the sun as a source of energy. For example, purple bacteria. And chemosynthetic forms are chemosynthetic bacteria. They synthesize organic compounds using energy derived from the oxidation of organic or inorganic materials without the help of light. So there are certain bacteria either on land or in the sea. On land we have photosynthesis process which is going on, and sulfur oxidizing protobacteria, methanogenic, archaea, etc. are playing their important role on land photosynthesis process. In the sea, main photosynthetic organisms are the microscopic algae, phytoplanktons, diatoms and flagellates. Consumers: the organisms that are unable to synthesize their own food and obtain them by feeding on other organisms and plants, or say producers or autotrophs, known as consumers. The decomposers also fit in this definition. Based on the nature of food they consume, they are classified in three categories. Herbivore, carnivore and omnivore. The animals that feed on plant material, known as primary consumers. The primary consumers can be grazers or browsers. Secondary consumers: animals which feed on primary consumers are termed as secondary consumers. These organisms are therefore carnivorous. As you can see on canvas, all these pictures are showing secondary consumers snake, turtle, and fish, frog, all these animals, they eat upon other animals, small animals. Tertiary consumers, the animals that feed on primary as well as secondary consumers. They are known as tertiary consumers. There may be carnivore species which are usually less in numbers, such as vulture species, white-rumped vulture, shark, lion, and mugger crocodile. Decomposers. Decomposers feed on dead material, divided into macrofeeders and microfeeders. Macrofeeders are datrivorous. So datrivorous are very important, and they play an initial role of breaking up large bodies into smaller particles before getting it absorbed as a food. And here, earthworm, and millipedes, and sludge, dung flies, all play the role of macrofeeders. Microfeeders obtain energy by further converting organic compounds into inorganic form, and this job is being done by fungi, algae, bacteria, etc.